everybody, welcome to Elisa's art room. Tonight we're going to be working some more in the junk journal, the Apothecary Collector of Curiosities. I'm waiting for this comet thing to appear. Why is it not appearing? There it is. That's how I know it's working and it wasn't coming up. And just make sure that I am actually live. Hopefully y'all heard that first part, because I don't know. All right, looks like it's good. Hey, Dawn. All right, so we are going to be working in our Apothecary Collector of Curiosities, and I will be talking about this one. I don't know if we did anything. I don't think I did anything in it, but we'll talk about it some. So I think that's it. We got one person on. Thank you for letting me know volume's good. See if I can pull this up on my other device. It was a little delayed for a second there. I was worried. All right. I think I have a plan for tonight. We're gonna see. Maybe I have a plan for tonight. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and pull the camera up top. If you're not here, catch the replay later. All right, give me 1 second while I move it. Okay, I think that's all right. All right, so let's see. Did we do anything in here? I don't think it. I think the only thing I did was just tear down the vellum. So I tore the vellum pages down. I didn't ink them because Dawn said she didn't want them inked. So I didn't ink them, but I did tear them. So I think I did that in all of them. Oh, I made a tag. So I did make a tag similar to what we did in the other journal, so that we stay on track with that. So this is the one I made for this one, and it says "Welcome Mortals," and inside there's an owl. The backing's just striped, and that's that hidden pocket that we did on the other one. It's a snug fit. Get in there. So you gotta aim just right. There we go. And I just put it in this to continue along that theme and add a little spider web up there at the top. So that is what I did for that. And then the other vellum. And then that vellum. I think that's all I did. Okay, so that's all I did in that one. Okay, so for this one, tonight, hey Deborah, hey Dorothy. Let's see, I have some curio cabinets of curiosities. It is from a digital by DotWit on Etsy, and it's called Cabinet of Curiosities, but it works really well with this particular theme. So I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put them. Is that I do not know. I figured out what I wanted to do. I just don't know where I'm going to stick it. I'm also going to change these up a little bit, these envelopes, which I might work on that too if I have time. So I'm kind of leaning toward these plainer pages, but I could also make a background. do have quite a few plain pages so far. Any of these would be good for a curiosity kind of thing. I still need something in for that. All right. Probably just gonna work on the plain pages. So I'm gonna show you what they are. Debating if I want to keep the actual journal or just the pages. I think just the pages. So I didn't print them all out. There's like 50. I think it was 50. There was a lot in the set. But they basically look like this. And there's all different ones. So what we're going to do is add some acetate. If I can get this thing to connect. Okay, are you back? I don't know why it keeps doing that. All right, so they look like this. They're larger. I shrunk them down. So I shrunk them, I don't know, maybe 60% or so. I don't do a number. I just shrink it until it is the size I need. And so I can't tell you a percentage. But there's just all kinds of cool ones. So I picked out a few. Like eyeballs and skulls and masks, but they're very cool. So when you get them, this particular digital set, some of them have the complete cabinet all the way to the edge, but some of them don't. And it was kind of odd. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know if the creator just didn't notice. But some of them don't go to the edge. Like one side might go to the edge, but then the other side doesn't. And then some did. So what I did is I just inked around them all to make it look like there's a cabinet around all of them. So that was step one. And for that, I just used normal distress ink. And I just used vintage photo. And a piece of cardboard, if I can find it. Here it is. Okay, so here's how I did this. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I didn't want to ink the whole, I didn't want to just ink it like normal, you know, like this, because I want it to look more like a cabinet. So I just grabbed a piece of cracker card. You can use any kind of cereal box, cracker box, food box, or just a normal cardstock, but you know, recycle when you can. And I just put it just inside the edge, and then just ran down the line with some ink. Okay, turn it, and that way they all kind of looked consistent. And when I cut them out, I added like a, I don't know, it's probably 1/4 of an inch, just to be sure I had plenty of room. And this will leave a little line, but I think it just adds to the cabinet effect. Okay, so I'll show you close. See how it leaves just a little line there. So it just makes it look more like, you know, the wood is stopping. So did that on all of them. I saved the last two so that I could show you. I don't know if I'm going to use all of these, but I went ahead and print it. And like I said, there's a ton more. I just picked kind of my favorites. Hey, Angela. Hey, Lori. Boy, my ink is feeling a little dry. That's better. probably need to add the refiller to it. I have it somewhere around here. Of course, then, you know, the next time I grab it, I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's too wet. It's either one extreme or the other. All right, so that is that. So then, what I did next is, we'll just pick this one. And I grabbed some of that acetate from Tim Holtz. And it's called Shattered. I'll look it up. Hold on one second. I don't remember the exact name. I think it's called Shattered, but I'll just leave that out. You know I'm going to need it in a minute. Where did I stick it? I think it's in the box because I wasn't planning on having to use it. There it is. It is called Shattered Windows. And they're just clear. And they've got like white cracks. Okay. And there's like 20 in there. 20 in there. So plenty to last you for a while. Okay. And they're just a lightweight acetate. Okay. So that's what I used. And what I did is I took it and I put some alcohol ink on it so it's grungy. And to do that, you just take a plate or something, cardboard, it really doesn't matter. I don't really have a plain one. Oh, I guess I could do another one. Just in case you don't know. I almost always grunge them up anyway before I use them. Almost always. And then just grab yourself some alcohol ink. You want to use the alcohol ink because it sticks to the acetate very well. And I just use sepia and honeycomb. Honeycomb's real light. I didn't want it very dark. The green, I added just a little teeny bit of this botanical, but you don't really need it. It barely shows, but mostly just all you need is just a teeny bit. And then ideally you need some alcohol spray, which I have some floating around, but I think it's in my bathroom. So we're going to try to work somewhat fast. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll just squeeze one of these on here. So I don't have it near me. So this will work. So you just want to have some wetness. So we're just going to wet this. And I'm just going to, usually I wear gloves. Wear gloves because it's messy. And just grunge it up a little. And you can use an alcohol swab to kind of play with it and move it around wherever you think it looks better. I don't like to go too crazy with it because then you can't see through it. But wear gloves, guys, because I will end up with yellow fingers. That's why I have gloves in here. I keep them in there so that I will wear them. Yeah. You see how well that works. So just grunge it up. If you have the spray, you can just kind of spray it on there and just move it around with your fingers. It doesn't work as well without the spray. It's a little harder, but you can do it. It's just you gotta work a little different. But I just get it nice and wet and grunge it up to the point where I like how it looks. You can go lighter, darker, it's up to you. You know, you get the idea. Just make it grungy. Okay, so that's all I did. Save these. You can cut them out and make tags. They make great backgrounds for tags when you've got a lot of colors on there. I've done it a couple of times. And make sure you ventilate. The alcohol ink is very strong, and don't be using, flame near it. Don't use your heat tool right after you use it because you might create a spark or something. I don't know. Just not doing it a ton, it's not so bad, but if you are doing it a lot, it can get a little bit much. So I keep mine in this, and then I store it on the shelf like this so that it's upright. That's how I keep mine. All right, so grungy acetate. And I've just got several pieces here. Like I said, some of these have some green, but like it's really hard to see. Let's see if you can even see the green. Yeah, not really. There's a little. You can see a little there, but not much. It doesn't really matter, just as long as it looks grungy. It doesn't look perfectly clean. So then I took the one I wanted, whichever one that might be. Let's do the this one. This has got like hands and skulls and vases and I don't know, weird stuff. It's all weird stuff. And then what I did is I just figured out where I wanted it to hit on the picture. You've got a little bit of leeway. I left myself some room around there so I can move it a little bit, as long as I don't go inside the edge. And if I don't like it one way, I can flip it the other way and see if, you know, it looks better. Maybe there's something I specifically want to come through the hole. This particular one, I don't specifically, but that vase is coming through. That looks kind of cool there, so we might work with that. So just play with it till you get it where you want it. Just try to stay inside the edge. And then when I get it where I want it, I just take a little bit of glue and put it just in the corner inside. And that's just going to hold it in place when I sew it. Now, you could glue this completely. How well it's going to hold, I don't know. Tim says the collage medium will hold it. I've done tests and acetate tends to peel off, but it does depend on the surface underneath. Because this surface underneath is, this is the linen resume paper, it's very porous and it will probably dry better and possibly even stick better than some surfaces. So it may stick to this just fine. I don't know where my glue test on that is. I did one. I do have something that says glue test. I don't know if it's in there. Let me see if it's in there. Glue test. It might be. Let's see. All right, so I did art glitter with acetate, and while it'll hold, if you pull on it too much, it will come off. It doesn't hold well. The same thing with glossy accents, the same thing with Elmer's glue all, the same thing with Fabri-Tac. All of them came right off. The Scotch double stick tape holds pretty well. It'll peel the cardboard before it comes off. And the scrapbook double adhesive double roll. So I find these don't work that great. Now I don't have a collage medium one there. Do I have one here? No. I have a collage medium on vellum, which held really well. I have a gem tack with acetate. And that stuff, it holds so strong, you ain't getting it off of there. The same thing on acetate to acetate. Acetate to paper, a gem to paper, this gem tack stuff is strong. And that's this Beacon one, which is the same as Fabri-Tac manufacturer. That does work very well on acetate, so you could use that for sure. But it does take a bit to dry, like, I don't know, several hours. So, but I'm just using this as temporary adhesive because I'm going to sew them. So for my case, it doesn't really matter. As long as it holds enough that it's not wiggling around and falling off, that's all I care. Because then I can take it through the sewing machine and sew it. I will say, when you're sewing this on the sewing machine, I found that it did not want to feed through. I had to help it through. I don't know if the alcohol ink on the acetate maybe was causing the surface to be slightly tacky or something. I'm not real sure why, but it didn't like feeding through very well. So that's what I did. So I have two that I did, these two. So they are at the point where they're just sewed on there, and they've still got the overlap on there. And I left the strings. So that's what they look like, which I think looks pretty cool. You can see a little bit of shine there. So it looks like a cracked window on a cabinet. And then I'm just going to trim off the acetate on the edge. Could probably use my guillotine, but I'm going to try to use scissors. They should work. Ideally, try not to get the actual cardboard, but I think I don't know if I cut these on the guillotine or not. I might have cut them by hand. So who knows if they're straight. If I cut them on the guillotine, they should be straight. I'm going to try not to kill those threads. Kind of want them on there. See if I can get them on either side so I don't cut them off. Let's see, that one goes that way. That one goes that way. Okay, and just trim it. I'm just going to leave them all. Maybe not that long, but we'll go that halfway. Just because it'll add to the grungy factor of that. So, do this one. And then these will just become tags. They can be journaling spots if I want to add something to the back. Or I could leave them just like they are. They're plenty thick enough. Plenty. Where is it at? Oh, that's close. It's further on the other side, but it's close right there. All right, so, and I went on the top so that my fringe thread stuff comes out on the top. That way, if I put it in a pocket, it still shows. Because if I had started down here, it would have been there, and then it wouldn't have showed. So I did it on the, I started and ended on the top. All right, so that's those. Not too hard to make. I will finish more of these up after, but I just wanted to show one or two. And then we got to figure out what we're going to do with them. I thought about making, at one point I thought about, should I make an accordion or something? But I think that would just be too bulky. And I don't want to create that kind of bulk. So I think I'm just going to use them in pockets, but I got to figure out where. You know, maybe I put one in each or two in each. I don't want to go too crazy. I just got to think about what I want for the bottom of the pocket and where I want them. They don't absolutely have to have a thicker page. They could be on a thinner page and be fine. That page is, that's that printed faux coffee dyed paper. That could be cool. The coloring's decent. So maybe there. And then let's find one in a different book. Got this, I'm not crazy about the color. This is going to cover that up, but I think I'm going to change this up and do a flip out rather than a sew in. I haven't decided 100%, but that's what I'm leaning toward. Yeah, brown. I don't know if I want brown. What else do we have? It may not be a great option in this one. I guess maybe this one. Do the other side of that. Maybe those two spots. And then I'm sure I'll have another one in this one because I tried to add one in each, so I'll put one there and go from there. All right, so we'll concentrate on these two spots. But let's figure out what would they look good in. Something cool. I'm thinking that the faux rice paper or even the grungy faux leather stuff. Oh, where is it? Do I know where it is? Maybe. Maybe not. All right, I gotta pull off my mic so I can grab it. I think I know where it is. Some in this. All right. You got two places to look. Well, I can't hear me very well. I got three places to look. And then I also have the faux rice paper, which is in a whole other thing that's kind of buried under my table that I might be able to reach. Maybe. I'll see if I can find. I know I had a piece of it. There's a piece. That might be long enough. I had some with numbers on it, but I kind of like the spiderweb one. It's the one I used on my cover. Yeah, this is the one with numbers on it. I have some with numbers and writing, and then I have some with the spiderweb. I think the spiderweb is probably, I mean, I could do one of each. They're both cool, honestly. I think that's, I don't have any faux rice paper in here, but will be, mummy cloth. For whatever reason, I couldn't think of the word. So mummy cloth could be a possibility. Sometimes mummy cloth can be a little bit of a pain for a pocket. You have to kind of fold it over, and then it's kind of like, will it snag on all those little holes? Yeah, I have a feeling it would snag too much. Because of the acetate, it's going to snag a little easier. So I don't think I want to do mummy cloth. Although I could grunge up my page with some. Got this green. This is more like cheesecloth. The mummy cloth and the cheesecloth are different. The cheesecloth is much looser, lighter. The mummy cloth is heavier, and the weave is tighter. But it is great for grunging up, tearing off little bits and such. All right, what colors do I want to pick? That's kind of dark. The green might be too light. I don't know. Greens and browns do work. There are some greens in there. Maybe that might be cool. I'll just take those colors out for now. And y'all know what the faux rice paper is, but I don't think I'm going to dig it out. I think I'm just going to go with this. At some point, I'm sure I'll use some of the faux rice paper. Somewhere. I may end up doing my front pockets with it. I'm not 100% sure, but possibly. Okay. So let's start with this one. Let's see. We'll start with this one. Put this one up here so I don't lose the spot. You stay there. Start here. So, what should I do? I think the spider webs might work better with this one because I'm thinking that the numbers let me look at the colors. There's some variation of color on here. And I could change it up a little. It's a little lighter. Perhaps. We'll just do one of each. Oops, I lost my page. Don't lose your page. Where is it? Put it in front or in back? Is that it? I think that was it. So let's do this one. So I'm probably going to fold down the edge of this just so it doesn't snag as easily. I don't think I want to tear it because it'll cause just problems. You know how that goes. Although I do like tearing them. So let's pick a spot that looks interesting on it. I mean, the whole thing's interesting. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so let's... So I have a video showing how I make this. This other side's much lighter. Basically, you take craft paper, you wrinkle it up, and you add something that's going to soften it. I tend to like the matte medium. I've seen people use lotions and hand lotions and all kinds of weird things, but I like the matte medium because it doesn't get sticky or anything, and I know there's no weird chemicals. And then you just do that over and over and over and over and over until it gets to the texture you like, and you let it dry. And it turns out really cool. So let's just make this, it's totally not square. So we'll just fold this top piece since it's not square. So I'm just going to fold it over just enough. Let me use my grid. Just enough to just make a little lip that is flusher and won't snag. And I'll glue that down. Oh, come on, art glitter. I know this is longer than I need, but that's okay. I'll fix that in a second. It takes a little longer to grab because it's got texture to it. Just hold it for a second. It should start grabbing. I don't think I varnished these. I might have. If I did varnish them, they might be even harder to glue. This is definitely not sticking. I'm going to put a little more glue. It's resisting. I wonder if I varnished it. Some of them I varnish after so that they the inks don't rub off. There it goes. I think it's, is it sticking? Kinda. Not really. Goodness, Art, you're not sticking on me today. What is going on? Usually this stuff grabs quick. Stick. Alcohol ink on my finger. It's gonna drive me crazy. if I can get it off. I managed to cut myself again today. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, no. Always cutting myself. Alright, so let's see what size we need. I don't think I'm going to fold the edge. Well, I'm going to fold the edge just to kind of get an idea where I want it, and then I'm going to cut it. That way I know I'm kind of straight. It'll just help me get it on there straight. Stay inside my line for my signature. I don't want it too close. And then right on the edge here. About there. If you wanted it gusseted, you could do that, but I'm not going to gusset it. Where the scissors went off to. So we're just going to cut that. I'll just double check before I cut that last part. Yep, that's fine. Okay. And we'll glue that in there. I'm not going to do a notch because I don't want to affect that edge. I'm hoping that'll start gluing. I'm hoping it sticks to this. Maybe I should switch glues. Could do Fabri-Tac. It doesn't feel varnished. We'll see how this seems like it's holding. And if it's not holding, I'm holding the wrong side. Always hold the side you don't want glue on, that way you don't mess up. It was pretty obvious because I have the fold, but alright. Let's see if I can line this up. Oh, I didn't cut off that bottom and it's really crooked. Alright. Do I bother? It's going to get glue everywhere. It's very crooked. If I can hold my scissors straight. There. Much better. Seems like it's sticking. Get that glue off my scissors before it dries. Anytime you do this, do be very careful because scissors are sharp. They will go right through and cut you. All right. Let's see. Is it sticking? Huh. It's really not. I know it will after a while. I'm just surprised it's taken so long. And it's starting to. Okay. We're just going to go with it, but it's definitely... Why does that look so crooked? No, is it just me? It's not crooked. Okay. It's just me. Let's get a little more on this corner. So this definitely is a little resistant to glue. And it could be the texture, or it could be that I put some varnish on it or something. That's a possibility. I don't know because I did it last year and it's been a while, so I don't remember. I guess I could throw water on it and tell you, but that's the easiest way to tell. It's like if water sticks to it, you totally varnished it. Or if water beads, I mean. Let's see. Is water gonna bead? Nope. There's no varnish on there. There is not any varnish. So it's just the paper for some reason being resistant. No varnish. Alright, is it sticking? Seems like it is. Okay. Just taking a bit. Let's make sure this fits. Fits good. Alright, let's decorate it prettier. Well, not prettier, you know what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and cut one of these. You could also do it like a belly band or something like that too. Not sure how I'd like it as a belly band. You know, I might like it as a belly band if it was open. Like see-through in the middle. Wonder if I could do that. I might could. I'm going to cut. I'm going to do a piece and let it start drying. Right here on the edge. Because I'd like to be able to see the creepiness underneath. So maybe about yay thick. So this is going to be for the other page. Does that look kind of sort of straight? Kind of sort of maybe. Okay, now I want to cut that. I think I'm going to use my ruler. Here, I'll just draw a line so I can pencil. I just want to open it back up and cut it. Losing stuff. I made this so my thumb would fit, and I keep holding them the wrong way. So I'm going to go just inside that because I want the glue to not be on the edge. Alright, and then lengthwise, before I make sure. So about there. About there. I don't know if this will work or not. I just thought of it, so. You love it when I have things on the fly. So here's what I'm thinking. I am thinking that I don't need all that thickness. Debating if I want to get rid of some of that thickness or not. I think if I take, the other one's got different things, so let me look at what it has. I might pick a different one, but we'll start out with this one and then I'll go from there if I can find it. I just stuck it in the book and now I can't find it. Alright, it has eyeballs. So if I get it to where those eyeballs show through, like right here, and right here, and right here. And what I'm going to do, I can't even see those lines very well. Can I see them at all? I can kind of see them. Oh my goodness. Really? I can see that last one. Let me use my white chalk pencil. That's just not showing up enough. Alright, so right here. I'm trying to... The idea is I'm going to tear out little spots. And right there. Okay. Because I think it's going to be cool. I'm just not sure if I want that layer on there, so I'm going to wait. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my X-Acto and I'm just going to make a little XC looking kind of spot in each of these places. Okay. And then I'm going to pull them back in a much rougher manner than the perfect cut. It won't look like that perfect cut. So there's that one. Here's this one. play with that in a minute. And then here's this one. Okay. I may switch over to Fabri-Tac and see if it holds any better. I don't know, but it just doesn't usually hold quick. Alright, so little tore out spots so that when it's inserted behind, the creepy eyes will show through. Do you see that? Creepy eyes, okay? That's the idea. Okay, and then we're gonna get rid of what we don't need. So this part, I'm just gonna cut it kind of close. You know what? I'll just cut that hole out on the back too, because I kind of want it to be stiff. So I'll just remove those areas too. Okay. And they don't really have to be as nice. They could just be cut out with a circle punch. If my circle punch will work on it, it might not. Let's see, is this one too big? This one might be too big. That's too big. Get the little one. See if this will work. Oh my goodness. It doesn't like this paper. Yeah, it definitely doesn't like that paper. Okay, hold on. No, I might have to just cut it. I don't know if it'll punch this. I'm gonna find out. I think it will. Let's see if it lines up. Yes, okay. So I kind of want the support of the rest of that fabric paper in there without cutting all of it. I know I went a little close to the edge there, but that's okay. Not a big deal at all. Let's just make sure that you can still see it hiding. Okay. And then this one will glue just to the edge. So just to right about there, I think. Right there. I'll just cut that. I want it to be strong, but I don't want it to be super thick, because then we just kill the whole idea. All right, so let's glue that down. Do I want to use art glitter? I mean, it does hold after a second or two. Fabri-Tac, I feel like takes so long to dry. It is more sticky though. Maybe it'll work better. We'll try it. I'm torn. I really am. I'm kind of torn. It's like, which one do I want? We'll try the Fabri-Tac on this and see if it works. So I'm just going to go on this side first. I know it's probably too long, but I'll play with that if it is. I don't remember if I cut it or not. I mean, it feels like it's sticking better. It'll just take longer to dry. Is it actually adhering? Kinda. Don't know if it's any better. I'll put the Fabri-Tac on the inside, and I might just put that art glitter on the outside. Never really had anything not sticking with art glitter like that before. Just gonna put it on this tiny little edge here, just in case. You won't see any of this. Stick or not? Stick. Stay stuck. Don't make me clamp you. It's going to make me clamp it. I guess it's not the end of the world, but not my preferred thing to have to do. I like instant gratification. That's why I like art glitter. I don't have to wait. I'll do something else while we're waiting for this glue to stop being so finicky. There. I don't have any more. Well, somewhere. Here, we'll just spread that over. There. All right, so we're going to let that dry, and then we'll peel all these back up in a second. Okay? We're going to set that aside. Off you go. And we'll jump over to doing some grunging on this page. Okay, and we'll put something on here. So this isn't, the eyes go with that one. So this is our freaky masks. Can y'all see them okay? They are really creepy. These are some creepy looking things. I'm just telling you, they're creepy, creepy, creepy. Look at this. And it's totally AI. And you know how I hate AI, but everything is. But, is it focused? I can't tell. Come on. Oh, you're so, there. Look at these. I hate clowns. And our hands. And this one's very normal looking, but it's cool. So, I have a bunch of them. They will go somewhere in the journals. And then I gotta do some black and white ones for Dawn's journal, for the Regions one. Okay, and I'll just print them in black and white. It seems to be the easiest thing to do. I am looking for stuff. So, I think, where'd that go? I'm just looking at colors. I feel like this, I like this green. I like it on the other one too, but I like it on here. I don't want to use all of it. I just want to use a little bit. Just debating where. I think I want this green, not this green. Maybe. Maybe that one, not the mummy. Let's just snip off some. Play with it. We're just gonna back this so that it's grungy looking. Just gotta play with the edge so it doesn't look perfectly cut. Might be a little bit big. Let's see. Just a fraction big on that side. Alright. So let's see. Glue that. I don't know what I'm going to glue it with. What shall I glue that with? Maybe just art glitter. I think what I will do is grab a plate. Where's my other art glitter? I don't want to fight with this little tiny thing. That will be dumb. I have one that has a bigger. Alright, so we're going to throw some out here. Smear it. Wipe my finger off. And then I'm going to take this. I'm just going to lay it in there. That should effectively get glue everywhere. I'm not kidding. Everywhere. I can't see my line. Hold on. I just don't want to go over too far. Alright, so pick it up. We're just going to lay it down. And stick it. By doing it that way, it kind of gets more on the lines and not so much in the holes. It still gets in the holes a little bit. You know, I can fight with the little pieces and randomly just tack those down. But if it feels sticky after, I will add some powder or something so that it doesn't stick to the other page. Usually once it dries, the art glitter is pretty good about not being super sticky. But just don't close it before or you will regret it. Alright, so there's that. That's nice and grungy looking. I like it. And then we need something else. What else do we have? We have some bits and pieces floating around here. We got lace, we got frames. I got just bits of things. Got some lace in there. I don't know if I want lace. I want something for here. Wonder if I have a good label or something. Maybe. Maybe not. Alright, let's see. Tim baseboard Halloween labels. Anatomy stickers. What is this? This is masks. Dark Academia, maybe. Probably not. Sorted out specimen labels. Words and numbers. Roses. And just regular labels. I like my little organizer. It is helping. Anything in here? No, not that one. This is specimen type stuff. I don't want it to say anything that doesn't necessarily make sense. Sometimes you can't even make out what they say, so. And then sometimes it's very obvious. Waiting call at price. I don't like the color. What about this one? It says Botanical Lab, but that might be alright. Ghost Train, one ride. Ooh, spooky. Definitely want to use that somewhere. $18.87, that could be fun. Needs super good vision. Oh, it's a cab thing. It's not bad though. So I think I like this color. I can always kill the botanical part with something else. Or just cut it off. I like these colors though. I know I have some different quotes. I don't know if anything's in here that would make sense. Witch market, strange aversions. Haunted for life. Strange aversions. Maybe. Some keys and locks, some grungy stuff. One of those might be cool. A fun house. No. Apothecary, no. Mischief. Maybe. Silence, witch market, strange aversions. Maybe strange aversions. The appearance of evil. Possibly. Let's see if there's anything here. Dead of night. Strange thing happened. Beautiful garden, gravekeeper, by light of moon, dearly departed. Dreadfully wicked, deathly sweet shop. Doesn't really fit. Lost in the darkness. Dreadfully wicked's kind of cool. Maybe. I just don't know if it needs a. I kind of like strange aversions. It's just kind of small. Yeah, it's really small. It's too small. Alright. So let's do this and this. I'm going to cut off the botanical part just because it doesn't make sense. I'll just leave the rest of it. Something like that. Maybe I'll thin that out if I use it. I like the key. I like the green. Maybe a keyhole on this side. It's sticky, so I'm going to just lightly tack it there. I'm not going to stick it yet because I'm not ready. I also have some random stuff here. I'll do the rest of them similar off camera. I'll try to do some on camera and some off camera just because it's going to take me too long to get this finished. I like that. These are some die cuts from, I don't know which set, the rose set. It's got like the roses and the labels and one of the sets. I'm sure I can find it and link it. Another one of those colors. I think, if I have one. It's got butterflies too. I don't have any more. What? Really? Do you really not have any more? Never have the colors I need. I try to cut them out ahead of time so that I'm prepared and then never do. Oh, wait. I think I got one. There's one, yay. Alright, I want that color. Back in there. Oops. Get in there. Okay. stick these things down. I think that looks okay. We'll probably ink it or grunge it or something. I'll put something, maybe I'll put the label up there. So I'm going to peel this because it's way too thick for this page. But that's not a problem. Let's get a darker ink. Probably Scorched Timber. Is that the color? I think. Let me find it. Yep, Scorched Timber, I think. Go with that. Scorched Timber almost has a green tone to it. It's kind of a really dark grayish green. But I'm just gonna ink these up real grungy. That's nice and dark. Can you see that? Nice and dark. And we could even ink this edge. Just kind of grunge this page up a little bit. Just a little. Maybe even the edge of that. Nice. Okay. This is a sticker. Still haven't stuck it. Stick it there for a second. Just getting it out of my way. I won't stick it yet. There. These, they're not bad light. I think I'll leave them. Yeah, we'll leave them light. Okay, so there's that. There's that. Okay, glue, if we can get it to stick. All right, so I think I had this one first. I'm just going to try and lay it out in a way that makes somewhat sense. So I want one of these up here. I want one of these down here. And then I want these somehow. Oh, let's put that on top. And then I had something else where to go. Oh, there it is, sticker. And the keyhole, maybe right there. Okay. I'll start with this one. Hope it sticks to that faux leather. It's being so difficult today. Put a bunch of glue. I'll probably just have to keep pushing it down and hoping it sticks. I just don't know why. It doesn't make sense. It's paper. I mean, it's really all it is paper. I don't remember having an issue before. Ooh, these die cuts are fragile. Where are my tweezers? Let's see if we can get some glue on them. You can also just dab them into the glue like I did a while ago. That works too. If y'all don't have a fine tip and you're fighting with things like that, just dab them into the glue like I did. As long as it doesn't fall apart, it usually works pretty good. This one's so falling apart. Look at it. It's popping up. I don't know which way I had it, but we're going that way. All right. I just need something to touch that with. Where's my rag at? There it is. Glue rag, which is just a piece of muslin. It's sticking, it's just slow. It's just slow at sticking, and I'm gonna have to put powder on it, I think. All right, let's peel this guy before we forget to peel it. So we're just going to take off half or so. Maybe a little more than half. Okay, so ignore my Band-Aid. So see how that is, and then, sorry, I'm trying to look on camera. Okay, you find the edge, you just work it in there, okay, and it starts splitting. And these layers will totally just split. Okay, and then it's not so thick. Took off all that bulk. And you can go lower than that, even thinner than that, but I don't think I need to, so. I don't know if anything else showing that. The only thing I'll show on these is if I put like grit paste and ink. Just a little messy for live, but we're going to ink them a little bit. I may go through and add grit paste here and there in this journal and the other one just after, just to grunge it more. We'll see how grungy it looks or needs. This should hopefully glue to this. Let's see how well that's holding. I think it's holding, but give it a second. So that's going to go there. The tag will go in here. And we got our sticker somewhere that I lost. Where'd you stick it on, girl? You stuck it on something. Oh, there it is. I found it. It's pretty sticky. It might be alright. I'm going to put just some dots because it's pretty sticky. Does the keyhole go down? I feel like it should go down. Where's the book? I was going to take a peek at the pictures and see if I can tell. I think it goes down. But I don't even know where I got it from now. Is it this book? Oh, it's this one. Hold on, I'm trying to hold it with one hand. Yeah, it goes down. Okay. I'm just going to put this, I think, right there. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's feeling a little bit sticky. Where's my powder? Should put some in there too. It's technically a makeup powder. It'll disappear over time. Yeah, that helped. It's not so sticky. Okay, this one piece is bugging me. I'm just gonna snip it. All right, so there's that. I think that looks nice. All right, so we'll go with that on that page. You like it? Cool. Should I back this or not? I don't know. I mean, it's still a writing spot. I guess I could grunge it a little. It doesn't really need backed per se, but we will grunge it. This dark color. I could add a really light stencil, and I also have papers that are lined for our real writing spot. It's pretty grungy. So, let's see. I have this. I made this for something I was doing. I don't know what. It's just a piece of cardboard that I cut out slots in. It's a little bit crooked. That top one's a little bit crooked. Sometimes if I just want some lines, it helps if it goes through the holes. That didn't work at all. What? Let me get my brush. What brush shall we use? Hold on. I have too much stuff. Let's use one of these. Let's use a little smaller one. Maybe. Where's it at? I use this one. These are just dry brushes. But they won't usually work. Let's see if it works. Depends if I can get there. I just want it to be real subtle. But it has to go through the hole. Otherwise you can't see it. Let's see if it's doing anything. Oh yeah, that's better. And it can just be like a journaling spot. Try not to move it. There. Just real subtle. A little bit crooked, but that's okay. It's not horribly crooked. This will wash out with water. A little bit of soap if you want. Alright, there. Could even put a little stamp or something. I don't know. I probably have something. Well, I know I do. It's just figuring out where they are. Where are my condemned stamps? Is it this one? No. Everything's... Everything's very organized. You guys know it is, but I still just get into it sometimes. Alright, let's see. I know I have a condemned one in here. Some of these just for fun. I'll just use Distress ink. Should be all right. We're just gonna. Hopefully my table's flat enough. That's always iffy. Yes, okay. Because it's warped. Clean that off with my chamois. Okay. Cool. Cool. That works. Where'd it go? I'm losing stuff. There. Okay, one page down. Let's go to the other one. We'll get 2 done. I'm gonna try really hard to get 2 done. All right, where'd it go? Is it there? Was it? I don't think it was in the back. It was there, right? we are going to do our crazy clipped belly band. It should be dry by now. Okay, this goes that way. So we're going to peel all these little guys back and glue them down and grunge them up. I'm just going to try to make them crinkly. Just because I thought that would be fun. I haven't done this before, actually. I'm going to try to get these to stick. Maybe. Yeah, sure we are. What do I have that's a little more instant? Probably nothing. I wonder if the collage medium would be any better. Let's try it. I don't know what is up with this. I don't think I've ever had art glitter not stick instantly. That's really watery. Try shaking it. Is that gonna stick? Not what came out of there anyway. It was too, I think it was too runny. I like it in the container like this for ease of application, but it is definitely runnier. I know it'll stick over time. It's just, I want it instant, darn it. All right. Only thing that's instant is hot glue, and I'm not using hot glue. So. Well, and super glue or something, but I don't want to use double stick tape either. We're just going to stick with the art glitter. It'll hold sooner or later. Might just take a minute. These don't have to stick down real well, but I just don't want them to get in the way. So I want them kind of sticking down. Sooner or later it'll start sticking. Just have to push it for 30 times. Have y'all ever had a situation where your art glitter just didn't want to stick to something? I don't think I ever have. It does not like this paper. At all. Come on. Stick. Are those starting to stick? I don't even know if I got glue there. Can't remember. Come on. All right, I'm gonna have to clip this for sure. All right, let's ink that up. So scrungy looking. Just want to ink our little hole. A little bit grungier. Just a little on the edge here. I could use some of those little mini brads I have. They're so tiny. When Tim Holt says mini, guys, he means mini. I bought some mini brads. I didn't know they were going to be mini. It's so funny. I was just like, okay, they'll be little, but yeah, not that little. So they're called mini fasteners, and they have like faux screw tops. compared to my smallest brad, which is this. Okay, it's my smallest brad normally. I bought these little mini fasteners. Look at them. They're so tiny. They're super, 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 super tiny. I don't even know how you work with them. Look at it. I mean, they're tiny. I mean, they're kind of cute and all. I don't know what I'd use them on because they are so tiny. I don't know if they'll even show because they're so tiny. But they do have little, like, fake screw heads on them. Let's see if I can hold one to show you. I don't even know if it will show. Maybe. Let's see. Can you see? Oh, is it focusing? There is a fake screw head on there. You can kind of see it. But they're so tiny. So, I don't know. I mean, in the right situation, I guess they could look cool. They're just so tiny. I mean, I don't know that I would use it to hold and go all the way through the paper, but I might use it just for effect. I guess I could put 4 on there just for effect so I can use them on something. There's 3 different colors, but they're real similar. 1, 2, 3, 4. One is, I called it antique silver. I called this one antique brass, and I called this one copper. They didn't really have names, but that's what they look like to me. They're so tiny. So, I think this is never gonna... It might stick sooner or later. Maybe. But I'll stick them on there. I gotta grab an awl or something to poke a hole. Let me grab my foam thingy. Alright, so we move them over here. We'll poke some holes in there just for fun, because texture's fun. Where's my awl? Oh, there it is. Pokey tool of some sort. So we're just going to eye it. I don't know. Just one on each side. I'm going to come in kind of a little bit just because I want to have room for the glue. I'll put one there, one there. And we're just going to eyeball it. One there. One there. I'm pretty sure I measured that to the page, right? Yep, okay. I did. And then we'll just stick them through there. So they're just going to be for looks, like I said. I could go through that page, but I don't know what I'm going to put on the other side of it, so I don't really want to. See if I can separate them. Maybe with my tweezers. I'm trying to see, is one longer than the other? I can't even tell. See if I can get through the middle. Wow, that's really... You know, one's usually longer than the other. On here. Just because it'll look kind of cool. It'll give it some texture. And they're not thick. They're pretty thin. Let's see if I can do it with my finger. Haha. Just barely. And then these two. It's one of those tiny little details that may or may not really show much, but adds to the overall, right? I'm I'm going to hammer those down or something because they don't feel flat. Mostly because I'm having a hard time getting a hold of it. All right, so bear with me. I'm just going to whack them. Just a little. Make sure they're flat. Okay. We'll glue this on. Are we the right way? Yep, we're the right way. Make sure that this is where I want it to be. Is that the right way? Is it this way? Seems like it's this way. We'll go this way. I think the writing's who knows what direction. It's all directions. Put a decent amount of glue. Hope for the best. I'll probably clip it because it's kind of fighting me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're definitely going to clip it. Getting that second paper in there. Hold on. There. I just think it'll be safer if I clip it for a few minutes. Make sure that glue's sitting up good. Try to get this snug. Relatively snug. Can't tell if it's catching the glue or catching the thing. All right, there. So that'll dry. This will go in here, and the eyes will peek out somewhere. Where are they? There they are. So the eyes can peek out. And if I really want it to be exact, I could bring the glue in a little further to force it there. I could do that. Might be a good idea. Let's do that. I'm going to kind of force it to be a little closer. Normally I might not do that, but I think with this situation, I think I will. Because I want that to be snug. Very snug in there. To where it fits just right. I'll do this side just a little bit up. It's starting to stick, but it's definitely slow. Okay, there. Now it'll force it to be a little more controlled. Cool? I think it's cool. It really doesn't even need much more. Honestly, it just looks cool like that, I think. All right, guys. Anything else? What do I have time for? I do have one little piece of this. What could I do with this? Anything? Could I just stick it in here? Sure. I could put a little bit in there. Although if I do, I got to deal with glue dripping through again. I don't know. That'll be alright. Like I said, I can always powder it. I'm trying to get it on my acetate. Pull my acetate out. Just put this on here so it's interesting texture. Oh, come on. It's sticking to me. Too much glue on my fingers. Hold on. Clean some of this glue off my fingers so not everything quits sticking to me. Where's that silicone? Turn over. There you go. There, that'll be interesting. Just a little bit of something. Okay. I like how the eyeballs poke through. I think that'd be cool. Let's see. Creepy eyeballs poking through. All right. Hopefully y'all like that. I think it's cool. Where is my box? All up. Poke myself with it. And see if that's starting to dry. Yep, feels pretty good. With this one. Yep. Alright. So it'll hold, it just takes a minute. But I'm not going to close that because this might still be wet and I'll probably powder it just to be sure. But that's kind of cool with the little screw head brads on there. They're very tiny, but they're there. You know, it adds something. Tiny or not. I think it's good. Alright. The glue is too thick on my needle. There. Okay. What time is it? Yeah, we only got 20 minutes till I have to be off, so probably don't have anything I can do for 20 minutes. Excuse me. Yeah. All right. We'll call it there for tonight, and then I will do the rest of these and sew around them and have them ready, and then I'll use them throughout the journal, just here or there. We'll make up some more pockets for them. I've got plenty of pages that I can put them on. I mean, I could even put 2 in one. It doesn't have to only have one, but I do want to add several because this is a curiosity type thing, and they're all slightly different. So, all right, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you for watching. I will be back. What is today? Friday. I will be back on Sunday, I think. I don't know what I'm going to do. I may play with more stenciling, or it kind of depends on what I have as far as stencils go and what's in stock and all that. So I'll have to play that by ear. Excuse my yawn. Ugh. All right, guys, y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you, Dawn. I'll work in yours some more, too. I'll do something very similar in yours. In the Regions one, for those who don't know, Dawn already bought it. But I'll do it in black and white, so it fits the theme. Okay? All right. Y'all take care. See you next time. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye-bye.